everyone and welcome to KYE Talks. I am Sonal Ambekar, your host for this interview. Know Your Entrepreneur is a digital platform where we talk to several entrepreneurs who tell us why they chose not to be stuck to the regular 9 to 5 and went ahead to do something different. They went ahead and chased their passion. Our guest today is Amya Madan. She is a certified handwriting and signature analyst. She is a council member of WICCI, India-Malaysia Business Council, or mentor at prowisdom.in. She is a graduate in psychology honors from Delhi University. A keen enthusiast who loves to travel and also likes to know more about people. She loves to interact with people and know their opinions and thought processes. She has also completed her advanced diploma in French from Delhi University. Her venture, Écrivons-You, We Discover, aims at providing personality profile to individuals through handwriting and signature analysis. Écrivons-You, We Discover provides personality profiles to the individuals based on the analysis of their handwriting and signature. Based on the identification of the strengths and weaknesses, it provides a one-stop solution for personality development through audio-visual modules and Grapho-therapy courses. It is a standardized and automated goal-oriented platform providing services like career guidance, compatibility assessment, employee recruitment, candidate selection, and personality development, and a lot more. Let's get to know more from Amya. Hi, Amya. Welcome to KYE.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, great. How are you?
I'm also doing great.
So, Amya, tell me about this activism and how did you decide to become an entrepreneur? More like, how did you decide that you wanted to start something of your own and not do that 9 to 5 job or work under someone? What was your motivation?
So what happened was, like, when I was pursuing my psychology honors, I found out that my personality was somewhat of a person who can't just take orders from anybody and do the restricted job or the monotonous work.
Right.
So I wanted to do something of my own. And because I was interested and keen in knowing about people's perspective, how people differ from each other, how their opinions are formed.
Right.
So I thought of looking for a tool which can actually tell me about people's personality. And that was a happy accident that I bumped into in the form of graphology. Right. So I did the certification and I found out that it is something which can actually reveal about a person's subconscious and tell everything about them.
Yeah.
So when I actually joined, I was doing it out of passion. I was doing it with my friends to know more about my relatives, their thinking patterns.
Right.
But when I actually joined my MBA in innovation and entrepreneurship, it was at that point of time when I actually thought of making it into a full-time startup.
Right.
So that's from where my entrepreneurial journey began. Yeah. When I started having an entrepreneurial mindset, I started to think like of a person who can invest more of my time with my flexibility. So whenever I work, whenever I have joy, I do that. And that is how a student was transformed into an entrepreneur.
Wow, that's wonderful. So tell me about this. What is it called? What is this entire thing? What's the term for it?
It's Écrivons-You, We Discover.
No, what's the term for analyzing handwriting and signature? It's grapho-therapy, something like that?
It's graphology.
Graphology. Okay, graphology. So tell me a little about graphology, because I'm sure, like myself, a lot of them wouldn't know or be aware of what exactly this stands for. So can you just enlighten us a little?
So graphology can be split into two parts. Logy means study and grapho means the graph of how you're making the formations. So graphologists basically study all the formations that you're making through your handwriting and through your signatures. And not just that, they also study your paintings, the sculptures, the drawings that you make, the doodles that you make while you're sitting in your free time. But just because not all people draw or not all people paint, the major focus of this is on handwriting and signatures. And the slants that you're making, the little eye dots that you're putting in, the baseline, margins, spacing, everything is studied under the graphology.
So you can tell a lot about a person from how they write the dot, they put the dot over the eye, or how they, oh my God, that's wonderful. I mean, that's something that a lot of people must not be aware about. And it's just great. The one beautiful thing that I am learning from these talks that I'm conducting is there's so much and so little is known by people, even myself. Like, like you decided to start your own venture in graphology that is related to graphology. So this is so innovative, right? And entrepreneurship is all about innovation. So I'd like to
Correct.
ask you, what is it, or what would you say is it that gives you a sense of accomplishment? You know, kaise kehte kick milti hai that gets you going every morning. So what would be that?
So that sense of accomplishment comes from when people give their feedback on the analysis. So it's my habit, like since when I have met my friends, they know about what I am doing, and they are even curious about how can you tell me about my personality.
I am
So
also.
random one of the other friends or people come to me with their handwriting sample and say to me, analyze this for me. So
Right.
when I analyze the way they give their reactions, oh my God, how do you know that? How can you get to know about this in just one meeting? So all these feedbacks that I get, and after they try to improve their handwriting. So
Right.
improvement in the handwriting can also bring about some improvements in your personality as well. So when they actually practice and when they come back to me after several days that yes, I have got this personality change, or I have actually felt a change in my own personality, it actually gives me a sense of accomplishment, and more than that, a sense of satisfaction that yes, I could also contribute to their lives.
That's wonderful. I mean, you're kind of helping people to also improve their own lives, you know,
Exactly.
by assessing their handwriting and telling them how or where they could, there is a, you know, void, and they could try and
Yes.
improve themselves. And that's life changing, I can say, in some ways. Oh, that's wonderful. So, Amya, like every person, when they embark on a journey, they face certain ups and downs. And entrepreneurship is a journey in itself. So, every entrepreneur, when they start out, when they are new, or even when they've spent quite a lot of time on that journey, there are some barriers, some obstacles, and you're always constantly facing such issues, some or the other issue. So,
Yes.
what are the barriers that you faced? That is one question. And how would you say can an entrepreneur, a new one or on a journey, keep up and, you know, get over those barriers? What kind of a mindset is required?
So the barriers that I actually felt was that age was one of the barriers because I was starting at the age of 20, 21. So that is something that people consider is too young to start off
Right.
with something of. So one barrier was that again, when you are the single person who is starting off with something, there are a lot of responsibilities that you have.
Right.
So at times you lack that motivation, or doing something, doing everything on your own makes you a little, you feel like there
Yes.
should be some
Right.
company with you, there should be some help or a helping hand with you. So that used to happen with me as well. Like I had to schedule all my workshops, I had to pitch to people, I had to spread awareness,
Right.
conduct sessions,
On
conduct
your own.
webinars, all the creatives, posters, make the website, maintain it. Everything has to be done from scratch.
Yeah.
So a time comes when you actually get tired of doing everything on your own.
By yourself, right?
These are some of the barriers. But what I learned from them, and what I would like to say to all the entrepreneurs who are thinking of doing anything, one thing that always keeps you going is your passion. So I had passion of analyzing people's handwriting, and I formulated my passion into my career.
Right.
So when you have that, that fire in you, that passion in you, that keeps you going. So rather than thinking as to how would we start, the best thing to do is to start from now. So there is
Right.
no right time to start off with things you want to do. The best time to do anything is right now. So
Right.
that is what keeps me going. That is what helps me break all the hurdles that come in my path.
Right. Wonderfully said. Amya, how old is your venture? How many years has it been?
So it's 1.5 years old.
1.5 years old. So you've been an entrepreneur for 1.5 years, and you've been doing everything by yourself for that long. So
So
that's
1.5 years ago, it started as a passion, but calling it as a complete startup, I can say that yeah, this lockdown made it a startup.
yeah, it was it was a Kickstarter for you. It was a Kickstarter for many people. You wouldn't believe. So many people I've spoken with, and my perspective of looking at 2020 has changed because of the people I've spoken with, because a lot of good has also come to a lot of people to 2020. So I would like to ask you, because of COVID and everything being shut down, we all of the people, like people from all walks of life, have realized how powerful social media can be, and how it can help you reach to the corners of this world. So what's your take on that? What would you say, or how has social media and its power helped you?
It has absolutely helped me a lot because when I started off with this venture, I just had one live analysis session that I did in my own school for career guidance.
Right.
After that, the lockdown happened. So what happened was that I had to switch the entire setup. So I used to do the live analysis with people sitting in front of me,
Right.
talking to them. But I had to make this shift to bring it all on online.
Right.
So I had to spread awareness. I had to use social media platforms. I had to make my website, my Instagram handle, all these things. But the one powerful social media handle that I found was LinkedIn. The way you connect with people on
Networking,
LinkedIn.
yeah.
Exactly. So there are a lot of like-minded people there. And I think that boost had happened because of the lockdown as well, because everyone became so active on LinkedIn. So a lot of collaborations happened there. A lot of networking happened there. And it could actually help me spread awareness to more people.
Right.
So LinkedIn was one such platform which actually helped my startup grow.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, I mean, a lot of people would thank Instagram, but LinkedIn is also one platform that is not being given enough credit for all the good that it's doing. So it's really great that you've mentioned it here. So my next question to you, Amya, is what would you feel are the factors that will help you achieve your business aspirations? Like before COVID also, you must have had certain aspirations or goals, but of course, they were all interrupted because of the pandemic. And then it gave you a new perspective to look towards life and everything that you're doing. So what would you say are the factors that would, help you get there?
So I think the factors that will help me get there is one thing, my passion and my motivation. So this is something which will keep me going on.
Right.
But talking about the scalability of my venture, yes, I require the right target market. Right. So there are a lot of switches which take place, and you need to innovate on a lot of things. So if I just say that I am doing one service, it'll not be enough. It'll never be enough for sure. So with changing times, with the changing customers' need, I have to pivot my idea. I have to pivot my services. And that is what will help me in the future.
Right. Well, rightly said. So, Amya, my next question to you is more. It's not like a question. I don't want you to answer it like a question, but I want you to answer it as you would in a heart-to-heart conversation. Every journey teaches us something, right? Your journey must have also taught you something from when you were a student to where you're now. And our journey, whenever we learn something, it brings an improvement in us. So how would you say your journey has changed you as a person? How were you some years back? And now what all is the improvement that you see in yourself now?
So if I tell about myself, in class 11th and 12th, I was a person who was so much focused on my academics. So I used to study the whole day, being a little more studious. But one thing that I always had was that I had the love for public speaking. Okay. So that thing came parallelly. However, when I entered my college, when I started with my entrepreneurial journey, one thing that I've seen changing in me is my level of confidence. Wow. So now, rather than just, focusing on myself, I try to focus more on the people as well. I try to go out and talk to them. So earlier, I was a little hesitant in trusting people, whether I should talk to them or not, whether I should discuss my ideas or not. But as and when I started off with this journey, I felt that until and unless you talk to people, you'll never be able to get the real feedback as to what they really think, what the problem is. And being an entrepreneur, if we do not understand or empathize with people's problem, we can never come up with a solution. Right. So that is a change I think I have bought in my own personality, or probably that has automatically got into my personality because of the profession I am in now.
Right. Wonderful. So I'm curious to know, like you said, you have to extend the services you're giving. You have to expand all the services that you're giving. You have to bring in new services so you can get a variety of clients. So since now you're doing something related to graphology, what would you say? What are the kind of, or what can I say? People from what walk of life come to you for this service? What kind of clients have you had over time?
So people from all walks of life can actually utilize, and graphology has applications into every field. Right. But what customers I have had are the schools, the principals. Right. So in schools, students can actually get their personality profiles, which can help both the teachers as well as their parents to better understand them. Not just that, it can help them in their career guidance. It can help them in choosing the right stream. So this is one. Then another segment of people are the entrepreneurs. So being an entrepreneur, I think everyone is curious to know how the investors are, how your business partners are. So graphology can help them in identifying some of the traits through your signatures. And then the major segment is of the HRs and the corporates. So when people are coming to your office for recruitment purposes, to your organizations, you always love to know about how the person is in reality. And that is where graphology helps a lot. And recently, to quote an example, it is very much relevant in MBA B schools as well. So in my own college, like Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, I recently did the analysis of all the students, of all the aspirants who have been called. So their analysis was used by the panel discussion, in the panel discussion part in the first interview to know more about the aspirants. That is how it is useful into every field and every has application to almost everywhere.
This is such an insight, I would say, into a person's life. I mean, even for a recruiter to know if this particular candidate is suitable for their firm, for their company, and graphology can help them with it. This is such a this I had never thought of, and that's wonderful to know that graphology has so much application in real life, and it can be used so much. It's so like our PM said that it's time that India becomes Atmanirbhar, Bharat becomes Atmanirbhar, and it's just amazing to see young entrepreneurs like yourself or entrepreneurs from all ages of life, them taking up something and bringing out something innovative and creating something new out of it, and making it available in the market. It's just amazing and inspiring for me as a host or as a person who talks to several entrepreneurs. It's very inspiring for me to know that there are so many people out there with such amazing innovative minds. They're trying to bring it out in the market and make it available for so many people. Amazing work, Amya. So my last, it's not a question. It's kind of like I want to know what you have to say as a message to our audience. Like you said, the time is now. If you wait and if you're just being skeptical and being confused if you should take the risk or not, if it's going to be worth it or not, so many people have ideas, but they're just too scared to take that step. So how would you encourage them?
So there are a lot of apprehensions we have in mind whether the thing we are doing is right or wrong, because we think that what people will say if we fail or what people will say if we succeed. So one message to the audience who is hearing me is that don't stop until you are proud of yourself. So the day when you become proud of yourself is the day the people won't matter to you. So don't stop unless you reach that stage of life.
So Amya, one thing that just crossed my mind that I should have asked before in the beginning, but I didn't. But nevertheless, I'm going to ask now. What's the inspiration or what's the meaning of this name that you've decided, Écrivons? What does it stand for? Or is there some, insight that I didn't get while I read it, but I'm sure it's got some meaning and you can tell us about it.
So Écrivons basically is a French word, which means let's write. So just like the venture is about writing, discovering your personality through writing. So Écrivons means let's all write. And the tagline also says, you write, we discover. So when you write, it's me who is going to discover your personality. And that is how the name of the venture was kept as Écrivons.
That's amazing. And I've been pronouncing it Écrivons. I mean, I should have said it in that French, Écrivons. I should have said it. Yeah. I wish I had asked you this question before, but wonderful interview. Thank you, Amya, for joining us here on KYE Talks, enlightening us about graphology, which is such a new and emerging skill, I must say, or I don't know what should I call it, but it's wonderful what you're doing. And we hope to see you soon, and we hope to see you go much, much, much far and ahead than what you imagine for yourself.
Thank you so much.